Andy Audate, what's going on, man?
I'm amazingly amazing, dog. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Amazingly amazing. I like that.
Amazingly amazing, yeah.
Welcome to the podcast. This is episode 62 of my podcast, The Sean Lowery Show. And yeah, man, I've been following you for a little while on like Instagram, and I love all your content. You are, what are you, a motivational guy, motivational speaker?
I mean, I started as a motivational speaker, man, and because I thought that was like the dream to go ahead and motivate people and inspire people. And then, with the industry, motivational speakers really have a bad rep sometimes, man, because people don't want to say, I just motivate you, because that's kind of like a spark. They want to be the flame into your life.
Right.
So that, many people are transitioning and saying, hey, I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm an inspirational speaker.
Ooh,
I inspire people.
Okay. All right. So that's kind of like motivational speakers, kind of like kind of a bad word, so I should use inspirational speaker.
I mean, it depends on the person. I don't even want to. I don't want to. Because I'm a businessman. More than I am a motivational speaker. I'm a businessman. So, it's motivational speaking has its positivities, but overall, man, I'm a businessman.
Okay, I love that. Entrepreneur. I was reading up a little on your story. You started like a cell phone business early on. You had a couple stores.
Yeah, man. At 19, someone who believed in me suggested that I open up a business, and I was a college dropout, overweight, in an impoverished area on the hood on the East Coast, and I didn't believe in myself. But this guy was like, "Dude, go after it, and I'll work with you." So I started a business. Within a year and a half, I made my first $1 million, and that's kind of like what kicked off this entrepreneurship. Real rainbow going all in.
Dude, that's impressive. When I was 19, I was just starting to get inspired and thinking one day I was going to be an entrepreneur, but mostly I was just kind of getting wasted and trying to hook up with girls mostly. So you were ahead of you were ahead of me at 19. How old are you now?
25.
Okay, nice. So yeah, you're not that far removed from it, but you feel like you said you said you had some, what'd you say, limiting beliefs, or you said you didn't believe in yourself when you were 19?
Yeah, dude. Man, when I look back at the time, man, I said to myself, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, dude, do you see your surroundings? Like, you can't be like one of those people on the TV. You can't be successful like those people. You're black, dude. First of all, you got those odds stacked against you.
Yeah.
And one of the things I was born with is something called gynecomastia, which just means that I have enlarged breast tissue. So I'm 19 with a little bit of man boobs, and I'm like, that's one of the reasons you can't be successful. And all these doubts. And actually, man, I had to create confidence, I had I think they call it a tourniquet. No, a chest binder, which was essentially like a compression, something that women wear to
like
suck in this. No, it's not a bra. It's like something that women wear to suck in their stomach, and so it's like a tube top type deal with no straps. And I put it on my chest, and it made it flat. And I wore that thing for 5 years straight, man. Damn. From 13 to 19, and
I mean, you look like a healthy guy. Like, it was just more about your like perception of yourself.
Yeah, I'm healthy. I just did some blood work. I'm tip top healthy.
Okay.
It was just literally just how I felt about myself as a man, and when I became an entrepreneur, that's when a lot of things changed, and the confidence was really driven inside of me, man.
Yeah, well, you look good, man. I gotta say
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and you said like you also felt held back because like all the odds stacked against you being a black guy and everything. Like, you think that has a big effect? Like, I know it's a hot topic, like in the world, and I'm always interested in it. And obviously, don't want to live in a society where that's the case. But I'm white. I don't know. Like, I'm always curious people's opinion on that.
One of my friends, has like a little quotes. We don't have the complexion for the connection. And, it's something to say that when you go to the bank, I'm fortunate never to have to ask for a loan from a bank.
Okay.
But I have relationships if I ever need a loan. But, when you go to the bank, I hear the stories of, hey, man, the first thing they look at you is your skin color. And then they're going to kind of look at the paperwork, but they're making the decision really off your skin color and off your background.
Yeah.
So
you think that's true? Like, I have no idea. You think it's true? You think it's got a true like
I think to an extent it's true. I just did a dealing at the bank, and I took out a large sum of money, man, and they're acting very different when I've been with other people taking out large sums of money, right? They're like,
yeah.
Let me double check your ID. I don't think this makes sense. Stuff like that. So So I think to an
Yeah.
extent it's true. However, man, I don't allow it to rock my boat. I keep flowing.
Yeah, and I mean, just a great entrepreneurship advice in general is like anything that's stacked against you, no matter what it is. Different things for different people. Some people are blind or deaf or handicapped. Like no matter like what it is, it's like you can either sit around and like have it be an excuse, or like you can just you have to be positive no matter what like cards you're dealt. Like, is that something you believe in?
Yeah, man. I think that's what entrepreneurship is really about, man. It's like
exactly.
having a vision and recognizing that there's odds stacked against you and smashing each odd over time. And I think that's entrepreneurship, whether it be like, hey, the market share doesn't know who I am. That's an odd that's stacked against you.
There's obstacles everywhere.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, and and that's for everyone. So it's just like, obstacles and overcoming them and getting used to doing it. I feel like it gets easier for people because a lot of times there'll be a block. Like you trying to start a business, your first roadblock comes, like whatever it is. I don't have any money to buy a machine, or I don't have any connections. Like, you got to get over it, and you just got to keep getting over them every time. And that's the thing I love about entrepreneurship, man. It's fun, and it gives you I think it's fun, but I also think that there is something to it that makes you like happier. Like it always gives you something to like fight for. I mean, we're like biologically wired as humans to like have to live for something, or like go find our food in the forest, or kill a deer to eat food, like that's like what our ancestors had to do. And like that like is in our bones. So like if we're sitting around doing nothing, sometimes I say I feel bad for somebody who's born with like a super rich dad and they've had everything handed to them. All of a sudden they're 17, 18, they've never had any obstacles. And now they're like unhappy with their life. And maybe those might be the people who start like doing pills or like going down a bad stretch. And I mean, it sounds dumb to say you feel bad for someone who's born into richness, but on some level I kind of do, because obstacles are a good thing. And like, I have always kind of tried to form my mind to be like, obstacles are good. And I feel like that keeps me like energetic and happy and always like excited to go to the next thing, because they're inevitable, especially if you want to do big things. So obstacles.
And what's your business?
Yeah, so I have a e-commerce clothing business. It's called United Monograms, and it's mostly for girls. I do it with my fiance, but we have 15 employees. We're looking to get to 6 million in sales this year, and we basically just like sell personalized like clothing online. We found a great niche, and it's e-commerce. So all our employees are like shippers, printers, embroiderers. I just hired an operations manager, customer service. So it's kind of turned into like a factory, like a production facility. And all my experience with selling is through like, we have like 140,000 on Instagram on our account, and big Facebook following, and we run ads and sell products. So I basically sell clothing online to a specific niche, and it's been growing. It's been going great. And I always make fun of myself that I have like a girls clothing business. And sometimes I'll be the guy that writes like, you look so cute in this pink shirt, get it today for $10 off, like with a heart emoji. Like I'll be the one doing the copy. But we found a great niche, and we're just going after it. And so business is going well, but it has been many challenges along the way, and that's the fun part.
I love that, man. And that's because you're a businessman.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not about like, oh, I'm passionate about women's clothing. It's a business, and you serve a community, and your brains and your ladies' brains are allow you to serve this community, whether you wear the clothes or not.
Right. Yeah, we just fell on this niche. Like I started selling t-shirts in my mom's basement, and we sold like American t-shirts, like for 4th of July. We were selling like Boston themed t-shirts. I was like selling t-shirts to all different niches. And my girlfriend was a kindergarten teacher, and she got involved and started doing some girls designs, and they were selling. And I was like, oh yeah, girls do like shopping online. And then people started asking I was living in Philadelphia, and then people started asking for these monograms, where are you located?
Las Vegas. Okay, so monograms are a very like southern thing. Like if I'm looking at my Google Analytics, there's a little orange dot where everyone's shopping, and it's a map of the country. And there's orange dots like all across like the South. Like I don't know why, it's like we sell across the country, but it's like a trend in the South, but we didn't really know what they were. So basically a random niche that we found out was a big niche. And I was like, all right, I could do this. And then I get to look at it like with no emotion. And hey, we need more pink coffee themed t-shirts. Those are selling well. So I do like the business side, and then she makes it like look good. And we have a girl who goes out and takes pictures with the models and stuff like that. And then I take those pictures and use them to run ads. So I almost feel like it's an advantage
that I don't really care about, like, specifically about the products. I just get to look at it strictly from a business sense in serving like our audience.
Yeah, so you're kind of looking at the data and you're making business decisions off data, not that, oh, I would wear this or I wouldn't. That's
exactly.
powerful.
Yeah,
That's powerful,
it's great.
Man.
And I feel like that could be if someone, a lot of people say follow your passion in business. And I always think that's interesting advice because I am following my passion. Running a business is so fun for me. Like, all my employees over there, I just had to hire like an operations manager who's in charge of managing them. Just had 2 interviews this morning for new employees. Like, I have so much fun every day, like running the operations, and that is my passion. But like, you could also argue that I'm not following my passion. Like, is that advice that is out there? And like, what's your thoughts when people say like follow your passion?
I think you hit it on the nail, man. I think, your passion. I don't, this is our first time connecting and meeting on this podcast, but I think it seems to me like your passion is the kind of the critical thinking behind it versus like what the actual product is.
Yeah, and the growth and the building of the business.
Yeah, and taking something that's nothing and turning it into a business that's generating income. I can relate, like cell phones, man. The last time I experienced that type of selling a product that wasn't me, because my current business, I am the product.
Right.
So it's kind of everything, all the
so you're not doing the cell phone stuff anymore, are you?
No, man. And I thank God, because COVID-19 would have hurt it.
Because you had physical stores, right? You had physical retail stores.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So I had stores in multiple malls and across multiple states. I had standalone stores, and I mean, all of that would have been shut down. For sure. with COVID. I mean, one of my highest producing stores was the malls, because this foot traffic was ridiculous.
Right.
It would have been shut down. So I think that I caught a trend early on, man, when I transitioned to virtual assistants, running my company with the support of virtual assistants from outside the United States. And now we're running a marketing agency working with business owners to scale their business, because what I recognized is that there was a moment in time in the cell phone business that I did everything by myself. Okay. Then I transitioned and I had at my top, I had 14 employees at my top, at my peak.
I mean, that's a lot of people. Like, people don't realize that's a lot of people.
No, it's a lot of payroll too.
Yeah, payroll. Yeah, dude, for sure.
And what I experienced was I was able to, my biggest goal in the cell phone business was I wanted to work out during the day.
Okay. You wanted to like exercise? Exercise
because when you're running this business in a mall, in like the malls, you have to be in the store has to be operating from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Right. In the mall. That's part of the contract. Okay. So Sunday, I think it ended at 6 p.m. Okay. So 9 to 6 on Sunday, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I was working every day. And
you were like the guy in the store, like talking to the customers that walked in, cashing.
Yeah, I was the guy in the store. There's actually a photo. Actually, I have a photo. I just found, man. Selling to a client. That's awesome. I was out there hustling every day. Then I got one person to work with me, then 2, then 3, then 4. Then I was like, well, I don't have to be at this store anymore. So I opened up another one. Nice. And did the whole thing all over again, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then another store, then another store. But I realized scaling was my freedom. Right.
Right. It allowed you to do what you want during the day, and it allowed you to get more revenue, I would imagine, with more stores.
Oh yeah, of course. I think that our biggest wins were when I saw transactions at the same minute. Right, that's awesome. I'm like, damn, this transaction, that transaction, that's, so that was cool. Then transitioning to this online world, having a Facebook friends list of maybe 20 friends from high school, but still an entrepreneur at the time. I had to transition to the online world, which was, hey, you got to get followers, you got to get friends, you have to be a personal brand online. But I saw that was a new wave, man, of entrepreneurship. That's your access to your clients. So I started transitioning to being the personal brand, recognizing that's a new wave. But to scale in an online business is utilizing the support of virtual assistants, because in America, when the cost per person could be upwards of $15 per hour per person.
That's like that's around what I'm paying all my employees. Like I try to put it at like lower when I do the job and I don't get any applicants. So it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah. And I need them at the office, but I've heard about virtual assistants and I've done some like coding work with some people from like Upwork, it's called, but you've had a lot of success with the virtual assistants?
I mean, we're by the end of next week, we'll be at 50 team members. So like the cell phone business was a little bit tighter, but this one is a little bit bigger.
Okay, because you can afford to get more at a better price, basically.
Yeah, I mean, at the cost, the cost. First of all, it's more of an opportunity for team members outside of the United States, in countries that are third world that have challenges for jobs, especially in a time like COVID. Yeah. There is a challenge for job opportunities. So
what kind of jobs do you have your virtual assistants do?
Customer service. We're big on customer service. So customer service, social media management. I do not manage my social media. You don't like post, or like you have it scheduled and they do it for you? Yeah, so they do everything for me on my social media. They post for me. Then LinkedIn, they manage my LinkedIn, Facebook. So I get so many clients from there. So they manage the content schedule on that. Sales, I don't do. I'm fortunate. I still do sales, of course. But I'm fortunate that the front line is my team.
Yeah, so you can do sales from a higher level, maybe like a branding level, because you're the face of it.
And bigger deals. And then we have appointment setters. So each salesperson has a group of appointment setters. So one salesperson might have 3, maybe 4. I have a salesperson that has 8 appointment setters on her team. She's a monster. Yeah. So then we have video editors, graphic designers, web developers.
Damn.
I'm coding a software right now, so we have those people.
Dang. Where do you find them all? Like, is there a certain website you use, or like?
No, we have relationships in the Philippines.
Okay. The Philippines. That's actually where we have like one coder that does something on our website that I have a relationship with for the past year. Her name's Jacqueline. Shout out to Jacqueline. Right. She's from the Philippines. That's funny.
So we have the Philippines, and then we have Latin America, and we have Europe.
Okay.
So like my right hand, who's my executive assistant, she's based out of Portugal.
Dang. And do you guys Zoom a lot, or how?
Zoom. Yeah, Zoom's our
So basically, like, you know them. They're just not in the same room as you, but they basically are, because we're basically in the same room right now, which is so cool.
Yeah, the thing, like if for the people, we have an event called the Brand Marketing Summit. Yeah, right. And at the Brand Marketing Summit, that's where I teach people how to utilize the support of virtual assistants and a specific marketing system to scale their business. So for the people who are listening to and want to learn more about that, go to joinbms.com.
Awesome.
However, Sean, what I found is that with we have a system in building relationships. Okay. So one of the things that we'll do, for example, is we have 3 team meetings a day at minimum.
Okay.
3 team meetings, morning, midday, and evening at the end of the shift. And then on the team meetings, we'll do something called a connection question. And a connection question is something that has nothing to do with work, completely about like getting connected through this question. So it could be like, what was your biggest fear as a child? Or what's your dream job in the future? Or if you had $1 million, what would you do with it today? Or what do you do on the weekends? Things of that nature. And you spend a year, doing connection questions every single day. You build a strong, relationship.
You really get to know each other. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. I would imagine like the actual speaking business probably being affected by COVID a little bit, but you've still been maybe trying to make it work through Zoom.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, we grew 11x since January.
Nice.
And
some people would say that's an obstacle and they might be defeated, but you're like you ended up making this even better year.
Sean, brother, man, look, March earlier this year in 2020, March, I'm booking my flight. So it's me and my girlfriend. We're at my apartment in downtown Los Angeles. Now I'm in Vegas. I'll tell you the story. But I'm in downtown Los Angeles booking the flight. We're going to Atlanta because I'm kicking off a 13-city tour. So I'm going around the country with my event, the Progression Conference.
Damn.
And I'm kicking off a 13-city tour. We're doing Atlanta, Ohio, Dallas, Houston, Vegas, San Diego, LA, New York.
Dang.
Like we're kicking this tour, and I'm booking my flight, and I see that there's when I go to Atlanta, there's a state of emergency, and I had no idea what was going on. And then I found out about COVID, and I'm thinking like this is just like, hey man, for this week, nobody please. COVID, whatever that is.
Okay, yeah, all right, a week, right.
So I call up an acquaintance who's in the industry, and I said, "Hey, are you having your events? Like this COVID thing looks kind of serious up in Georgia."
Yeah. And
then they're like, "Yeah, I'm having my events. Don't worry about it. I ain't tripping." So I booked I'm ready to book the flights. And then my team is asking me, what are we going to do? And I got to make an executive decision. I got sponsors at this event. I got speakers that are flying in. It's a tough spot
to be in, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm nervous as hell. I'm like, what if I make the wrong decision? What if I make the decision to have it and people get sick? What if I make the decision to not have it and people are like, yo, what happened, man?
Exactly.
I'm better on this. So we end up not having the event. And then I see that COVID is kicking in much stronger, fucks up my whole entire tour.
Dang.
Right? Whole entire tour is jacked up. However, man, we transitioned online. Now, with the brand marketing system that I have, it's all about having multiple streams of awareness. So speaking is a stream of awareness equivalent to Facebook. It's no different. It's a platform for you to get in front of an audience.
Right.
Just the speaking allows you to just build a better connection because you're in person.
Right.
Now, so we just doubled down on the online game, and man, I'm having a seminar tomorrow. I'm in my home. I'm having a seminar with a few hundred people on a Zoom call.
And if you would have had to travel, that would have been like your whole day. But now it's just a percentage of your day. You could maybe get more stuff done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our team grew actually because of this, man. Early in the year, we might have had I think I had like 15 or 16 team members. And now, we grew tremendously because, customer support and management and onboarding, the whole 9 yards. So
it's exciting. So you found a way to make the best of it, and now you're finding out that you like it even more.
Yeah, man.
Do you think you'll go back to speaking once everything gets back to normal? Because there's like comedians who talk about it's not the same without a crowd. I miss my crowd. And some people like the crowd is like really important. And I don't know if that's the same with like what you do, but what do you think?
I tell you, it won't be a 13 city tour.
Okay.
I think there will be definitely some changes in the amount of events. I have to have events. I need to see people. I need to connect with people. I need to feel the people. I need to hold hands, kiss babies, the whole 9 yards. Like I need that experience. But does it have to be a national experience? No, because we found that the internet, can be just as strong or even stronger and more cost effective.
That's great, man. COVID's been crazy. See in the NBA, they had like the virtual fans.
Yeah, I saw that, man, on the side of the deal. Cool.
Like when it first started, I was like, oh, that's weird. They're putting up like big heads and little heads. I was like, okay, that's an interesting thing. But then I found out later it was actually fans watching the game, like from their computers. I was like, oh, it's real fans. That's awesome. Like,
yeah, they put them in a seat and it looks like, man.
I think the NBA has done an amazing job with the bubble. And are you a fan of the NBA at all?
I mean, I was just watching. Who was it? It was the Lakers versus who was it? The Rockets.
The Lakers just beat the Rockets. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was watching. I mean, that was a blowout. But I was watching, that game, and that was the first time I saw the screens, man, and how I learned that they're all in Orlando and they're just just playing out of Orlando. I think.
Yeah, and they have like the bubble. So like everyone that went there, they had to be able to get in the bubble. They had to like take a test, all that stuff. So it's like a little safety zone. And like I think if you made it to the like conference finals, then your family could come. And like now there's like a few people there, like their families, but they've done a great job with it. Because I love the NBA, and I was sad when it got canceled, and I was like, they got to have the playoffs, and they figured out a great way to do it. And then even football now, it looks weird without fans, but I mean, I'm glad they're doing it. Like it's just interesting how to see everyone like move on without like the physical people. It's weird. And
I mean, what happened in Vegas? So after
what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Not all the time, but with COVID happening, around the world and the riots taking place, I was in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah,
I wanted a new environment. It was kind of getting crazy with the riots downtown.
So you recently moved from Los Angeles to Las Vegas?
Yeah, I'll tell you, like there was some things going on in LA, man, and I literally just called my girl and I said, hey, do you want to go to
that
LA?
is, my last podcast, I had someone that lives in California, and I'm trying to find someone from California who is not moving. Like it seems to me that everyone is like a mass exodus. It's crazy. Like what are the things you didn't like about it? Because I'm so interested in the fact that an amazing state of California, everyone seems to be leaving. Like I
moved to California for opportunity of relationships. You know, so like
LA.
City. Yeah,
that's the place, baby. LA, Hollywood. Like
the reason for the 13th City tour was because of my neighbor.
Okay.
So my neighbor was in the same industry. So he's messing with, giants in the speaking industry. So, you're talking about the top of the top who's in the entrepreneurship and speaking.
Yeah.
He's friends with them. His company's doing 50 million. So his apartment or his condo is right across from mine. So we start playing basketball and we start kicking it off. And then he said he's going on a 20 city tour. And I said, man, I would love to be a part of that. And then it inspired me to do a 13. That I could fit in my.
So that was an advantage of you moving to Los Angeles.
Yeah, the relationships.
Right.
Now, and then proximity, because proximity is the power. So after, with what's going on, I start looking at what's going on and I said, hey, I'm established online right now. I have a business that's completely established online. I do not need to we ain't going anywhere in LA in the first place.
Yeah. Okay.
So
you could be anywhere.
I could be anywhere.
Yeah.
So I call, COVID is messing up. We can't go anywhere. We can't go out. Governor Newsom is acting crazy. Yeah. Essentially with the stuff
he's just basically not letting people do anything, right?
Right. And then plus the taxes. So then you got taxes. So in Las Vegas, you got no income tax. So I called my girl and I said, hey, let's go to what do you think about going to Vegas? Now she lived 6 hours away from me, Northern Cal.
Oh damn.
So she said, oh, I'm open to it. So we took a trip down to Vegas one day and we chose a spot. And then when we get back, riots are going all over, downtown Los Angeles. Yeah. And I said, hey, let's sign the lease. Boom, sign the lease. Let's get out of here. So within a couple of days, we packed up and got the truck. And boom, literally, as I'm packing, I'm trying to dodge the police, like the group of police cars on the highway, man. Because what they would do is they would set up their riot gear on the highway. So all the cops met on the side of the highway on the breakdown lane, and it'll be like 50, 60, 75 cops. And they're all, suiting up with the riots. And then they'll get in the car, get off the highway, right off the exit, and then go into the city where the riots were and the protests.
Damn. So just on a practical,
I'm in the middle of that. I got out.
Yeah. So just on a practical level, you're just trying to build your business up, do your thing, and then you're driving around and you got to deal with literally a war almost. Like that's what it seemed like to you.
Well, it was a matter of dodging.
Yeah.
It was a matter of dodging it.
Damn.
Yeah. I did not. I remember. I had these thoughts, man. Now I own a legal weapon, and I have these thoughts where. Because I see the videos literally down the street from my house. And I'm seeing these videos of people posting of what they're doing to the stores and so on and so forth. Yeah. And now I'm fortunate that my complex is there's security. But I mean, if a bunch of people came in, man, our security couldn't hold them down. Dang. So I'm thinking what if people rush up in the spot and do some crazy stuff? And, I'm like, let me not be in this environment. Let me get out.
That's crazy. And California's not big on legal weapons either, are they? Don't they make that difficult? Yeah, they make everything difficult.
Yeah, you gotta wait. You gotta wait a bunch of time to even get your weapon and stuff like that. So.
All that stuff. Yeah. Hey man, it's crazy how everyone's moving from California, but you're definitely on trend with that one because I've been hearing a lot about that.
When we moved, man, one of the U-Haul ladies, she said, "Man, people are leaving California in droves.
It's crazy.
They're out.
It's crazy. It really seems like a big thing that's going on right now, and everyone I talk to, it's nuts. But so you're in Vegas. I imagine in my head you walk into wherever you live and there's just a slot machine there. That's what I envision. That's probably not the case, but how close are you to the strip?
No, I'm right next to the strip.
Yeah.
And you go to the gas stations. There's slot machines in the gas stations. And,
what?
You go to you go to massage parlor. There's probably gas.
A slot machine in the gas station. People play those?
Go pump gas. People really sit there and they'll put the quarter in, bring it down, and it's very addictive to some people.
Yeah, you like gambling?
Not really. I haven't gambled in maybe like 6 years, man.
Yeah, I used to love gambling, but it turns out it's stupid. It's just so dumb. Like there's no it's the only way you could justify it is I'm going to have fun tonight and I don't care how much money I lose. Like that's the only way to justify gambling ever, I feel like. Because I used to love
think rules need to be, in place, man. If you have like a $500, if you want to say, hey, I'm willing to blow $500 today on an experience, whether it be I pay $500 for like dinner and
exactly.
a movie and whatever.
And if you win a little more, you can buy some nicer food. And if you lose, then you'd be like, oh, this sucks. But like, it's just no matter what, you got to have a limit, probably.
I think the challenge for some is the walk away, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love people who like they think because I'm an entrepreneur. I love taking risks. I love challenges, but like gambling is stupid. And I love people who are like, oh, I know how to like beat this machine, or I know how to beat Vegas. I know who's gonna win the game tonight. I'm like, listen, the coaches and the players and the refs don't know who's gonna win. I don't think you know who's gonna win. And like they're like, no, but like this guy's got wearing different shoes, and I heard that this guy like he was. Missed all his 3-pointers last game. Like, no, you don't know. It's a gamble. It's a bet. And Vegas is like, I don't know who Vegas is when it comes to sports lines, but it's amazing how on point they are. Like, if they say this team's going to win by 7 and the line's at 7, it's always like right around 7. Like, it's like magic.
As if it's rigged, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but almost as if it's rigged. But I just feel like Vegas is, when it comes to sports betting lines, like they're just incredibly smart. But ultimately, it's a coin flip. And like, yeah. People who think that they have like the inside track, I'm like, come on, man. No, you don't. Like, just think about it. There's no way you do. Like, and they spend all their days there, and like, that's not. I feel like if anyone says they're an entrepreneur and they love gambling, you have to like kind of question that because it's like, it's dumb. It's dumb to go and think you're good at it.
I mean, when you work hard for your money, man.
Yeah.
You don't want to just blow it off.
Right. Exactly.
When you know how hard it was for every single dollar, you're like, man, every single dollar that came in, I don't want to go ahead and gamble that.
Right.
Unless it's, for a specific experience like mindless entertainment and you're willing, you can throw the money away,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's easy for other people to say, but you living near the Strip, you could have that opportunity a lot more often than other people who might go to Vegas.
I've been here for months, man. I have yet to go to a casino.
That's awesome. I mean, that means like, because gambling is also very addictive, like for people.
Very, yeah.
Like it's actually like a real like physiological, psychological like addiction. So, I mean, it's not a problem for you. So you're just moving to Vegas just because it's a good area, and like, there's probably some opportunities there with like being around people and networking.
I mean, as soon as I got here, man, there was relationships that I was acute to, so that I connected with those people, and then had dinners and so on and so forth. And now because of California, the next hot spot on the West Coast is gonna be Vegas.
True.
So people are coming over here. So I believe Vegas is something where I'm gonna establish my roots in, man.
Awesome. Yeah, Vegas seems cool. So if I ever go out there, I'm gonna hit you up.
Hit me up, man. I'm over by near the Strip. So, and the food, like you cannot, there's so many restaurants out here to try, man, every single night, man. I just came from a Rainforest Cafe on the Strip, man. This is a restaurant that had gorillas and orangutans and like branches. Like it's this whole theme, man. And the food's great. So, man, there's so many opportunities, man.
Yeah, Vegas is amazing. They have great marketing. Like, so I love marketing, and like Vegas, they have their whole like national campaign, like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Like, who's some of your favorite like people that you follow that are like marketers, entrepreneurs, like or who's someone you think's like killing it right now out there?
In Vegas,
anywhere, like not even just in Vegas, like out there in like the world.
I don't even know who's killing it in the world, man. I think I'll be honest with you, man. What ended up happening to me in 2018 was I was so fixated on who was at the top, and I spent so much time learning their craft that I was mimicking them.
Who would be some of those people?
So I'm actually have the picture on my desk right here, right?
Brad Lea, Grant Cardone.
Right. So Brad,
I had Brad Lea on my podcast.
Did you? Brad is up the street from me.
No way.
And I was so fixated on this idea of like these people. So like 2018, I had a deal with Tai Lopez, one of Tai Lopez's marketers.
Okay.
And we had a deal that we were going to do. We had a certain revenue share and so on and so forth. But Tai was going to speak at my event. So I was so fixated on like Tai Lopez. And
like kind of like that world of like speaking, entrepreneurship, right? Like that specific niche. You were focused on your niche.
But what ended up happening, man, true story, Tai backed out. Okay. Yeah. And Tai backed out of the deal. It literally was like, hey, man, I'm just not in town, man. But we had the deal. Like, this was my big thing.
It's kind of fucked up.
It is, man, because, 10,000 is not a lot to some people. 100,000 is not a lot to some people. And so the numbers, whatever, weren't inspiring enough. He said, I'd rather be out here he was on the East Coast, like on a farm or something.
Damn.
And so once that experience happened, I was so fixated. I was on a rant where I was like, F this person, F that person, F this person, right? And then someone called me, a good friend. Actually, I met him at Ty's house. And my friend called me and he's like, hey, man, I see what you're doing online. Look, I'm around these guys. I'm in the circle. And one of the things I want to share with you, bro, I think you are next up. Like, you have what it takes.
Hell yeah.
But you got to focus on you. And he said, man, you should target, do advertisement and targeting to HBCU, like historical Black colleges. Right. Yeah. And I was like, what, why? Like that. He said, because that's the people who are going to follow you.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago, my mindset switched. Then last year, man, I had an event in Houston.
Okay.
Or that I had two. I did a mini tour in Texas.
Okay.
Well, one of the events there, I had a woman roll up to me. She was in a wheelchair, and we have a VIP dinner. So whoever buys a product at my event, come to the VIP dinner.
Nice.
In the evening. So downstairs, we have the VIP room. She rolls up to me. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I love this. This is amazing." I said, "So where do you get your personal development from? Is it like Les Brown?" She's like, I never heard of Les Brown until you told me your story of your relationship with Les.
She knew about you first before Les Brown.
I said Tony Robbins. She said, I don't know Tony Robbins. Grant, I don't know Grant.
That's
I
awesome.
said, so who do you get your personal development from? Then she pulls out her book, which was my book that I signed for her. She pulls out her copy of it, and she's like, dude, this is the first time I ever. I said, damn. So you know what?
That was a special feeling for you, probably.
It was an understanding that there's 7 billion people in the world, and that the people that I looked up to doesn't necessarily hold weight to the people that look up to me.
Right, and you're still young as shit. So, like, if you keep doing this, by the time you're 50, I mean, I think 50's young, man. I mean, that's how old probably, like, Grant Cardone is. Like,
Grant's 62.
Damn, he is?
Yeah.
He looks pretty good. I thought he was a little younger. But, like, imagine that. You keep doing what you're doing from now, 25 to 62. Bam. Imagine as long as you keep the energy, like, imagine then. If you already have a couple of people, like, now at that age, that's what I always get excited about is, like, I'm 31, but I feel like I'm young as shit. And, like, I'm still going to be rocking when I'm 70. So, like, the time that is forward, if you keep going, like, you kind of, like, establish yourself. And as those older people move on, like, then you could be, like, me and you could be Grant Cardone and Brad Lea.
Look, like what I know, I spent a quiet amount of time with this group of people. Like Brad, for example, Brad.
I actually did not have a great podcast with Brad Lea. Me and him didn't really click that well.
Oh, did you?
No, like I don't know. I couldn't like hear him that well, and he kind of had like no headphones in, and the audio was a little rickety. And like I asked him a couple questions, and like I don't think he like understood what I was asking, and like I kind of like got like I had a couple questions planned that like kind of knocked me off my my course a little bit, and like yeah, I don't know. We didn't connect well. I said in the beginning of the podcast, I was like. Yeah, like I did a little pre-recorded thing. I was like, had a great guest, Brad Lea, but like really didn't hit it off that well, didn't do that well. And I was kind of joking, but like it's funny. It's just interesting. But he's like a real dude, and I wish I had it back, but oh well.
Yeah, man, you can lock that in and let him know. He's really cool, man. Brad has given me great opportunities and nuggets in the past. One of my first podcasts was his, man.
I saw you on there actually, because when I had him on, I was looking through his podcast and I saw one of his very early ones. It was like Andy Audate. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I follow that guy.
So that's why proximity is power. Actually, Grant, this night we had this was at an event that Grant was speaking at, and then we had dinner downstairs at a restaurant, and that's when I went to the high ticket game because of Grant. So I was doing. The high ticket game? Explain that. High ticket. High ticket meaning just higher price points. So you're talking about 10,000
for your events, or for what you get paid
for my products. For my products.
For your products. Okay.
For my products.
And your products are what?
So back then would have been like coaching.
Okay.
That was
Makes
the main
sense.
product back then. I was hosting events and doing coaching. And I said, well, what would it take to have you speak at my event?
Yeah.
And then he shared with me about the audience. He said, if you put 100 people at $99, I wouldn't want to come. But if you put 100 people at $5,000, I want to be there.
Dang.
So, literally because of that, and he kind of gave me some nuggets and coached me. Because of that, man, I went from, a couple $100 game, trying to get it in volume to, hey, let's play the high ticket game and let's charge 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Dang.
And
so that business almost is like a stand-up comedian or a band. Like you were trying to tour and sell seats to your event, your show, right? Like that's cool.
Yeah, and coronavirus really stretched us to look at different avenues and filling different seats. So now each Zoom box we consider as a seat.
Yeah.
In Zooms.
Nice. Cool.
So it's like, hey, how many Zoom boxes can we fill and in what time frame? And I think the benefit is, man, although I have a national presence and a national database, it was challenging to get the East Coast people in the large groups to the West Coast.
Yeah, it's travel. It's a big commitment.
Travel, hotel, no work. So once we said, hey, Andy, you don't have to do this many events. You can just get on one Zoom call and be talking to someone who's in New Jersey and LA.
Trying to fill seats in a specific place, if you have just the people who are in that area or willing to travel that area or anyone from anywhere, which one's going to fill more seats?
Anyone from anywhere.
That's crazy. And like, as long as you like duplicate the experience, like it's easier for everyone. You get what you want, they get what they want, and everyone's chilling at their house. So that's funny that it's like changed like that. And I've done well in business. Like I've never had a mentor. I've never done any like coaching courses like that. Like, do you, like, I don't know, like, what type of people do you think are doing them? Like maybe like younger, or maybe I'm just rare that I haven't like, I guess you want to know what I got? Where I got a lot of my inspiration ideas, just free podcasts. Like, I guess I didn't sign up. I just listened to them on my own time. I never had a mentor, but I learned a lot from audiobooks, podcasts, listening to smart people. And I almost feel like I know like a Gary Vee or a Joe Rogan or like people who I learn information from, but I guess I never paid for it really. I just got it like for free. But do you think like everyone like is better off with a mentor? Because I don't like listening to people. Sometimes people tell me shit. I'm like, all right, I'll take it into consideration. I'm just going to just listen to you. I listen to myself.
Well, in the cell phone industry, man, when I first opened this location, if I had gone off of my own ideologies, like my own understanding, I would have completely miserably failed.
Okay.
And the reason why it was a massive success, I mean, it was in this area. I'm talking about 1 square mile is where I'm from. The whole city is 1 square mile.
Yeah.
So for me to branch out and hit multiple states in my cell phone business, and then for AT&T to spot me out, come to me and offer me $135,000 to leave and open up their subsidiary, which is called Cricket
Plus you're so damn young. Like that's impressive.
I don't think they knew I was 19, man. I didn't hit the 20 yet.
Exactly. See, that just doesn't matter when
they didn't care.
They just look at the numbers.
But there was it was very interesting. But the real reason, man, came down because before I started in the cell phone business, where I owned it, I worked for a guy who owned cell phone stores, and I was fortunate that although like now he's at like 100 something locations, doing 30 million and has 400 or 500 employees. Back then, he had 10 locations, and I happened to work at the headquarter location, which he would, frequent in and out.
Yeah.
So I built a relationship with him. Then, I got a cell phone number. Then I said, teach me the game. So he tried to teach me about payroll, credit, net 30 terms, all these things that I didn't know about, and how to market the products. So when I transitioned to own mine, it was like as if I was doing it for him, but it was for me. So that was my mentor. So it was massively successful when there were people who were in the industry that owned that were in the business for 7, 10, 15 years.
So let me ask you this.
One location.
Let me ask you this. That makes perfect sense. Like you got mentored for somebody in the specific industry the specific industry. Now, when you do coaching, what if you have someone that comes to you that has like a flower business that you know nothing about? Like, how do you go about coaching someone who like maybe does something that you aren't as familiar with as like specifically like cell phones?
So if cell phones is retail,
right?
So any retail product, there's a system for retail products.
Right.
So I could have taken the same system for cell phones and put it with clothing. And put it with flowers. Yeah. So I was fortunate to have that experience and experience a tremendous amount of success. Now, if then I transitioned and it's doubled down from 2016 to now, been doubling down on online. So, 2015. So the last 5 years.
Like selling, selling online?
Selling online.
Yeah.
Selling online. So my biggest forte started off online, which was in 2012. Which was eBay. I was hugely successful in eBay. I was hugely successful in eBay. Then I transitioned from eBay to now because I've been a hustler since I was young, man.
What were you selling on eBay? Just like
computers, laptops, cell phones. Cell phones was my biggest thing.
I mean, that makes sense because you have access to the market and know about it and stuff.
Yeah, cell phones. So there's a specific way to market online to get the most hits and to get the most conversions.
Yeah, I never sold on eBay. Yeah, that's cool.
You sold on eBay?
No, I never have. Like maybe like when I was like trying to sell shit out of my bedroom at one point, but like no, I never like had a business selling on eBay. I've always sold on like Shopify, which is different because that's like your own website. eBay has like their own little marketplace where they probably have some tactics that you were got good at.
Yeah. eBay has its own algorithm.
Right.
eBay has its own algorithm. So I was wildly successful, and then I switched from eBay to the cell phone, but I did it for a reason. Like everything was intentional. It was never to get a job to pay bills. Everything was intentional. When I went into that cell phone store, across the street was T-Mobile. I went into T-Mobile to apply, but I knew that this was too corporate for me. I needed access to somebody. And then when I found out that it was like 10 locations, I knew I could have access to the CEO. And I'm talking to I'm literally maybe 16 saying like I need access to the CEO because I know what I'm going to be in the future.
That's awesome, man. That's just confidence. That's smart.
So after I left the cell phone business, I went to the speaking business, and then I did the same thing. I said I need access to the person at the top. And to me at the time, who I consumed content from was Les Brown, the motivational speaker.
Yeah, I've heard so many amazing things about Les Brown. Right.
So I went on tour with him. And that's how I got the access where me and Les traveled the country for, like a year and a half.
That's awesome, man. That's so cool. Like, yeah, dude, like all your success, man. Like, congratulations. And you still got a bright future ahead of you. Changing the topic a little bit, like, I don't know if you know about this, but I have a point. But one marketer that I've been interested in, somebody who I think, I've just been wanting to talk about this because it's in the news. You know Travis Scott, the rapper?
Yo, what's good with the McDonald's thing, man?
Yeah, dude. So I like his music's pretty good. I like him. Like he's not my favorite rapper. I like some of his songs, but he's done two things in the past couple of months that have blown my mind, and it makes me think about like the future of marketing. So this McDonald's thing's pretty cool. He just did like a special. Apparently they sold out of the Cactus Jack meal, but he just did a little promotion where like you drive up to McDonald's in the drive-thru. And you say Cactus Jack sent me, and then they give you like his meal. It's called like the Travis Scott meal. It's like a burger, fries, and a soda. It's not anything like special. I guess the burger's like specially made or something like that. And I guess they like sold out of this kind of burger, which is like so badass and so creative. And the reason I think that's so cool is because of the first thing that he did that blew my mind, and I could not stop thinking about it when he did it. So I don't play video games at all, but Fortnite, I knew nothing about it, but I heard about this and I was obsessed with it. So Fortnite is like everyone plays and it's like a little world and everyone has their guy and they all like you can shoot each other and stuff like that. But during Fortnite at a certain time, like I think it was like 8:00 for the 3 nights in a row, the whole game shut down, no matter where you were playing the game, and a big giant Travis Scott pops in to the world and did a live concert. And like you could like fly around him, and you could like my brother was in town because he's in New York and he was visiting. He had Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, and I was like, dude, we gotta get Fortnite to go to this concert. So I had no idea how to play, but I was like flying around Travis Scott, and like I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. He was playing his songs, and like it was like this giant Travis Scott. So between him, imagine you try to think of ways to promote yourself, creative ways. And I see this guy in the past 6 months do these two things that blew my mind. being a live concert in a video game. And that fascinates me because like people talk about how the future is like maybe technology and maybe one day we'll all be like wearing helmets in like a virtual world like that. And when I hear about that, I'm thinking, ooh, like how can I maybe like be selling stuff in that virtual world or try to get ahead of it a little bit. It might be way down the road, but it just makes me think about the future. And then with this like creative McDonald's thing where something as stupid as you drive through the drive-through and you say a little code to get the Travis Scott promotion. And it's sold out. They sold out of this damn burger. I'm like, this guy is thinking of the most creative ways to market himself. And I just think it's so cool. And and I think about the future and I think about, everyone's, do content on Instagram, do content on Facebook, like do live shows, do a podcast, do speaking events. I'm trying to think like, ooh, what's the next like cool way to like market yourself? And you ever think about that? Like, does anything come to mind when you think about like a cool way that no one ever thought of to market yourself? I think it's a fascinating topic and it's hard. It's hard to think of.
Yeah, it can be challenging, man. But what the rule of marketing is simple, where get in front of people wherever they have their attention on.
Right.
So if people have their attention on Fortnite, like, okay, how can I use Fortnite? And that's very clever, first of all.
Yeah, well, he clearly had the inside. Like if right now I said, hey, get in the middle of Fortnite, obviously you have to have some big connections. So he had a little leg up there.
But you also got to get money too and reach. But when I see this man, like, first of all, he's connected with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
And
he's got a kid with Kylie.
Yeah, I mean, like that. If you want to secure the bag, man, go have a kid with one of the Kardashians. You want to secure the bag.
Yeah, dude, he's good. Yeah, exactly. The Kardashians are incredible marketers, dude. Like they're so good. I mean, I don't watch like the Keeping Up with the Kardashians or anything like that. I'm not like a fan, but like. I had some guy on my podcast who kind of knew the Kardashians and like Kim's sex tape, like how she got like on the internet and got known. Apparently that was like Kim's mom's idea, which like is crazy, but like, again, innovative and like, damn, like how far will you go out there to get eyeballs and stuff like that? But,
if you show your body off a little bit, but that can set your family up for the rest of your life, man, because you had sex with a celebrity.
Yeah.
Some people would take advantage of it, man.
Yeah.
Some people would take advantage of it. But to be an effective marketer, man, you gotta, especially now, there's so many people looking to get attention,
right,
and get in front of it and build awareness for their business, their product, or their brand.
Right.
You got to be really creative. I think he did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm trying to like think of the next cool idea. I mean, obviously there's a lot of eyes on like TikTok. I probably haven't done enough with that. But it's fun. And like you said, you were ahead of the game when personal branding came around, you noticed it. Like, I feel like that's the key. Seeing where these trends go and kind of getting in on them early. That's good marketing too. Cause then, if you think something's going to be big and you get there first, then you'll kind of be established by the time all the eyeballs are there. So that's part of the marketing game too, I feel like. But it's hard and it's challenging and it's kind of fun.
I think for any business right now, if you aren't utilizing the support of virtual assistants, you're going to be behind about 7 years.
Damn.
And because T-Mobile, I call T-Mobile for my service. And I'm talking to the representative. Sounds like, you would think that he's in Arkansas or something, right?
Yeah.
And then he ends up telling me, oh, no, I'm in South Africa. I'm in South Africa.
Okay.
Johannesburg, South Africa. And I said, but you work for T-Mobile. Like, how does that work? He's like, oh, they hire us out. Then I learned that T-Mobile doesn't have any employees besides the executives in retail.
Really?
In America.
Dang.
So your phones come from out of the United States. Everything comes from outside the United States. Your call centers, when you call T-Mobile customer service, that's based out of the United States. And they have these companies that are essentially running these offices. It'll have like 400 people at campus. So when I saw that, I'm saying, hey, T-Mobile, these large corporations, they have the money to do the research and development for what's going to happen in the future. They realize they can utilize the support of members outside the United States. And for the dollar amount that you spend, for one person in America, you can get 2.34 people outside when you're looking at a massive scale.
You can double your staff.
You can double your staff, double your results, and then the cost is still less.
Dang.
The cost is still less.
Dang.
So it's a win-win for your team members outside of the United States because they're like, hey, I get a job. I get a fulfilling long-term job. So I'm excited that with the team members that I employ, because like they're not nervous about getting paid on Friday. They're not nervous about that. They're not nervous about getting fired, because as long as they're producing, everyone's happy. My team's producing, and then we have a system. Some parts of the different countries, they have a different philosophy on how they work. Okay. Outside of the United States, many countries have a boss employee mindset or a boss employee experience. I'm the boss. You do as I say, or you're fired.
And they like that.
What?
Like they like that? The being just told what to do?
They're some people are used to it, but many of them don't like that.
Okay.
In America, especially in my business, I operate on a team leader mindset, right?
Right.
So hey, we're a team. I'm your leader. I'm not your boss. I'm your leader.
Okay.
So we all have a common goal, X amount of clients, certain type of clientele, certain type of client experience long term. We have a goal, and then we as a group lock in hand to hand and go after that goal. So, you can hear it in the tonality, in the way it's talk. You can hear that people aren't saying your company, Andy. They say our company. Oh, this is my client. So you can hear it in the way that people speak. So, man, I think it starts off when any business right now, if you aren't figuring out how to be virtual, you are way behind. And when you become virtual, hire outside help. They're more hungrier. They have, if anything, like for example, I employ nurses, I employ doctors on my staff. So they have college degrees. It's not like, there's an impotence, like they're not smart or something. Right. Many of them are smarter than me. They have more experience than me, but they bring in this tremendous value, man. And it starts with the owner in the United States making the decision, okay, how do I go virtual? How do I run my business, from outside the United States? And once you put in those systems, man, watch how your business grows, because they're taking in technology that's ahead of the United States. And they're saying, hey, based on our goal as a company, I think we should add this. The reason why we had it we have a specific system and process that way we take a customer through our funnel. And I would say it's proprietary, but it's not registered. So it's just our system that happened to work and never heard of it before. It came from my sales and marketing manager, who in her last company, they were using a certain technology, not a device, but a certain system on how to attract clients and keep them and retain them. I didn't know about it with all my experience and knowledge, but they were dealing with these large corporations. They said, hey, my old company, we should do this. I think we should do this in this company. And we did it, and that's what attributed to our 1,100.
So not only are you getting them for cheaper, you're also getting some innovative ideas. And I guess I do have a perception of virtual employees being like not really a real team. Like it's not really like I'm trying to grow a business. I want people to be part of it. And I've always kind of foo-fooed like a virtual assistant, virtual people. But you're saying you actually make them part of your team. And hey, I'm going to take that advice. So that is your futuristic, your trend that you see is these virtual assistants. And dude, I might take your advice and see how, I'm sure different businesses can use them in different ways, but I'm gonna jump on that. And I think that's some good advice.
Look, man, the reason when I had the cell phone store and I had this camaraderie, people fighting, we had a group chat, people fighting for the sale and so on and so forth, this camaraderie to be able to go out to dinner. I understand that. But my team being virtual, with the connection question, man, you
still have that.
Probably even stronger.
That's crazy.
Probably even stronger. And we're a family, man. I just did this huge video for one of my executive assistants. She just, passed her 1 year anniversary. We did this whole video and people are crying because they have so much love and care. Dude, it starts with how the leader leads the team. Yeah. The way that I can't wait to meet my virtual assistants. They're going to be flying into some of our events.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I bring them into the United States and they'll go to the events, they'll work the events, so on and so forth. So it's not like they're strange or they're not smart. Everything runs well. So, if you have team, for example, you're 15 employees, I don't know what the payroll is, but I can confidently say, cut that in half, the payroll, and then probably increase your results by an additional 20%.
So my thing is I have that, they physically have to ship out the packages and print the shirts and stuff like that.
Leave that in the United States.
But and my sales team is small. It's just 3 people. But as I grow that is something I could absolutely do virtually. And I honestly never considered it. But now I'm considering it because of what you explained to me about how it's still a company. It's still a culture. It's still an experience, even better than seeing them in person. And then maybe you see them in person eventually. But that's actually what I need to hear, because I've always been like, it's like just kind of help and you just text each other, but you're actually Zooming with them, building relationships, and building a company, which is what I want to do. So damn, that's some good advice, man. And I love it.
And also, I'll support you, man, with the growth of your virtual team.
Okay. Yeah. When I start doing that, you'll be the first guy I hit up to try to figure out where to start. Cause yeah, I've never even like dove deep into it. So dude, it's been awesome. Where can everyone, go check you out? Go find you. I see right behind you. You got Audate on your, on your thing. So start with that.
Yeah. Joinbms.com. So for the people that are looking to, start and grow their business, one of my businesses, Sean, is a virtual assistant agency.
Damn.
We supply the support of virtual assistants. So, we have the marketing company, then we have the training company, then we also have the virtual assistant training, virtual assistant services company. So, but where I teach all of this, how to market your business and utilize the support of virtual assistants, is going to be joinbms.com.
All right. Joinbms.com. Maybe you'll have a future client. And dude, I really appreciate it. And thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Sean.
Later,
appreciate you, brother.
Peace.